She remembered.
Yeah, guess what else I remembered? Oh, fuck my nails.
Proud of you. Well done.
Welcome back to... Amazing! Welcome back to Worlds Apart, your favorite bi-weekly world-building podcast. My name is Diana, joined by Odin, as always. Odie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm cozy. It's cold.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you guys
happy.
are getting into your winter time, huh? And I'm over here in a fucking summer dress.
Yeah. Yeah, well, our daylight savings just kicked in as well. So we're back an hour now. So we out here.
Is that the one where you... Is it the bad one or the good one? The one where you gain an hour or lose an hour? So,
we got an extra hour of sleep
Oh,
last
fuck
night.
yeah. Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Profit.
So it's a win. Yeah. But how are you? What's going on? You've been busy.
I have.
And you've also been, like, cooking amazing cuisine. That is chicken nugget parmy.
Dude, yeah. Okay, so
Incredible.
this is going to be wildly off topic for the beginning of this episode. I don't care. It's a good fucking idea. Odin sent me a TikTok a little while ago that was someone had taken dino nuggies and put marinara sauce and mozzarella on them and made them into dino nugget chicken parm. And I made it like, I went to the store that day, made it, dined like a fucking king, and I have leftovers still. I'm going to be enjoying that for like a week. Ugh.
How many did you make?
Too many. It's not a good idea to batch make them, turns out. It gets very soggy, very fast, but it worked.
Ooh.
The execution was immaculate. 10 out of 10. But yeah.
I'm going to have to try it.
Speaking of creatures and critters and things, what should we world build today? What direction do you want to head? Because last time we did the sort of like demigod, god, deity spirit of fall and got into some questionable treatment of animals.
You shoving animals into sap? That'll be right.
It's cozy. It's fucking Pokemon, style. They just go into a little Pokeball.
I mean,
that's what I choose to believe.
That's a fair
Imagine that
assumption.
we world build like an animal rights group that just goes into this fucking forest and like
Don't put the idea out there because we'll do it. We will. As for today, I don't mind what we do. Do you want to continue on with the seasons? Because we can sort of get a brief idea of all those over the next few episodes if you want to. Or if you're just feeling, if you had something in mind and you just want to fucking run it, we can run that as well. I do have, at some point, I do want to tell you a concept of a creature idea that I had. Oh, you want to do it
why
now?
not? Fuck it.
So,
Tell
okay.
me.
So man, I sent a meme in the Discord. I put it in the Save It for the Podcast channel that we have.
Because we had to make one of those.
Because we had to make one of those. And it's a little meme, Lav, you can chuck it here. It has the artist's tag in it and all that kind of stuff, and we can highlight that if you can, please. But it's a meme of a dragon sitting on top of its hoard, and something is asking it a question of why it has all this treasure. The answer is shiny. Turns out it's a little magpie.
Yeah.
Or a little bird, just a little crow. The bird that loves the shiny things. So I was thinking, so there are rocks in the D&D space.
Oh, you were just gonna end
right?
Yeah, rocks exist canonically.
So there's rocks, but there are rocks, the big ass giant birds in the D&D space. What if we took a crow and amplified it, and they are genuinely like a good neutral creature?
Uh-huh.
They just have an obsession with shiny things.
Fascinating. Are you thinking like more intelligent or like less intelligent than like a dragon, where it's like roughly the same size, but it just happens to be like less of it? It's not smart, maybe, or is it like?
I just don't. Yeah, I don't. I think it just has the brain capacity of a regular crow. Like they survive, they thrive, and do all that kind of stuff. They fly around, but when they see something shiny, they're like, "I want it,"
Oh my god!
and they take it for the nest. And like this thing, like one of a giant oak tree that's in the middle of a field or something that has a giant nest up there that's just been cultivating all of these shiny trinkets and items and all that stuff that it could find. A really funny storyline as well is this thing could be terrorizing a city or a town, but it's just dropping in, grabbing something shiny and leaving. The only thing it causes damage due to its size.
What if it's like, okay, you know how you can train crows to bring you little shiny things sometimes, and it will like, oh my god, or sometimes you give it food and then it leaves behind a little trinket instead. What if these guys will like go in and steal the fucking gold plating on your clock tower or whatever, and in
Yep.
exchange they leave behind like some random item from halfway across the world, and they're like, this is a fair trade. And then you see like a fucking
Yeah.
statue that's just been like embedded into the side of your clock tower, and it's like, ah, yes, this is good, this is a good trade. And then it fucks off with your gold.
I give and take.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like one of these, just a giant crow, that like shiny thing.
That's cute as fuck. I love that so
That's
much.
what I'm saying.
And the nest would go crazy too. Like, you'd be able to see,
Loot wise,
yeah, maybe like fucking
Insane.
like the necklaces of giants just like hanging off of the fucking branches, and like,
Yep.
oh god.
There's a lot to it. I feel like a speak with animals thing with it would be amazing as well. Because you'd just be like, we're here, we just want to talk, and it'd be like, what's going on? We good?
Like, it's never done anything wrong in its life, and you're like, hey, sorry,
Nope.
like you took the statue and it belongs to like a really important god, and the god kind of wants it back, and it's like, oh,
It's-
okay.
oh, but I gave them something instead.
It's like, yeah, and you dropped a cow corpse on them. That wasn't really cool. Like, they didn't like.
Incredible. Oh, I love him. So
So
he's canon in our world.
Are they-
Somewhere.
they gotta
he
be like
lives.
super rare though, like same level as rocks, I imagine.
Yeah.
Those two fucking nuisance.
Yeah, big time.
But at the same time, like, maybe that's a motivation for certain civilizations that live in the nearby area to maybe build weaponry, and like, oh my god, they would not use metal because they're like, oh my god, can you think of, okay. Sorry, I had like 3 thoughts at once. Can you imagine setting up a little village or like a war camp or something around the base of this tree or in the general area that this bird flies around? And it's a fucking massive area because
Okay.
it's a massive bird. And this civilization from the outside, like, it's like, oh my god, you guys are so uncivilized, you're so undeveloped. Like, why do you still have wooden weapons? Or like, why is all your shit made out of, dull materials? Where's all your shinies? And they're like, you'll fucking see. And then if any army comes in and starts to like march on their territory, flashing around their swords and like fancy
Yeah.
weaponry and gold and things like that, then they immediately get bombarded by this bird. And so they're
Dude.
like, you fucking dumbasses, like, try again later.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if there was a war band or like a tribe or something that came after them, what if these people just pulled out reflectives and caught the light to shine off of armor of the armies approaching,
That's so good.
and the bird's just like, huh?
Yeah, that's so sweet. I love that. I almost feel bad for this little bird, but at the same time, they're like,
Yeah. Little bird.
I mean, he still gets his treasure. Like, well, okay,
He a big boy.
the chonky board. But I mean, he'd still get like at the end of the day, the civilization would still be like, yeah, you earned it. Like, here, take it. Like, we can't use it. You'll just take
Yeah.
it from us. So he still gets his shinies.
I kind of love
He's
him.
so. I want this man to be our mascot. I love him so much. Oh my god.
Because I was thinking about like where he could fit, and obviously we haven't built out this world or this continent even completely yet. But like, he could fit into the Sundial Mountains. That's like a naturally grown large place full of big ass trees and
Yeah, but
stuff.
they use too many metals. Like, he would just start attacking the demigods.
True. Oh god, he would.
I wouldn't want that. He would fucking.
No,
No, he
he-
deserves
he's
better
sweet
than
boy.
that.
He's sweet
you don't know
baby.
what we're talking about,
We love him.
Please go listen to
Do
the
we
other
have a
episodes.
mascot? Do we have a mascot now? Is he our mascot?
Yes. Oh, I love him. Just a giant board. Should he? Would he?
For those of you,
What does he look like, feather-wise?
oh god, are we just gonna go with a slate black look, or do we want him to have like a tinge of something to him?
I feel like he should have a tinge of something. Like, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, there's got to be some sort of cool bird feather color out there. If I just Google birds.
While you while you Google that, what we'll do, so we have an idea of what we could possibly name this boy, so we don't have the responsibility of naming him. People who are watching in the YouTubes, if you want to drop a comment below of what we should name our big boy Burb,
Yeah.
why not?
Oh, that'd be
'Cause,
so sweet. Have the audience name him.
yeah, it could be like a big epic fancy name that is like how there's beholders, rocks, like it could be a species if you want it to be. Or he could just be called Larry. I don't know.
I love the implication of him being called Harry despite having no hair. I'm here for it.
Larry.
Oh,
Thank you.
Larry. Sorry. It's like, okay,
Larry,
Harry,
not
sure.
Harry.
I googled birds.
Yes.
As expected,
Good
I
work.
got several results. I think if we get into like
Of birds?
of boards, yes, yeah,
Boards.
several.
Burp.
Burp. I think. What if we make him like? I don't want to make him like a giant pigeon. That's kind of lackluster, but.
That's got an image of a giant pigeon flying
Yeah,
over a city.
God,
Anyway, sorry.
the city just starts complaining about the amount of pigeon shit, and they're like, "Well, I've never seen a pigeon here," and it's like, "No, it's just one." It's like
It's one pigeon. Like-
it has to use the bathroom, and if you're underneath it, you're just fucking. We lost 3 last week.
Oh dear, I love this bird.
Mhm.
Okay, but yes, you got something.
I
Sorry.
think you should have a crest the same way that blue jays do, where their feathers on their forehead look kind of like a little horn, a little bit.
You got a little mohawk.
Yeah.
Should it be gold?
Yes. Oh, that'd be wonderful. Dude, what if this guy,
Yeah?
what if he like, when he gets like bigger pieces of gold and things like that, like he decorates his nest with it, and if he's got like smaller pieces, like necklaces and things like that, he just wedges them in between his feathers to make himself even shinier.
Oh, I just got the image. I love that so much. That reminds me of have you seen Moana?
I don't
No.
watch anything.
There's a crab. There's a big ass crab
Oh,
in
shit,
that
I have-
sticks like shiny pieces.
Yeah. Oh, I do remember
Yeah.
that guy. Dude had some lungs.
Yeah. He has a full ass song, big old number.
Yeah.
Called Shiny.
Exact same vibe.
But yeah, he could absolutely like wedge stuff in. We could also give him like a fire breath weapon where he melts down all the metals he collects and like dips his wings into it.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cute. And like kind of coats his feathers and like kind of the same way that birds coat their feathers in oil sometimes, or like their own spit. Is it that? I'm forgetting my zoology knowledge.
You're
here.
the zoologist.
I know. it leaves me every time I sit down in front of a microphone.
Oh dear.
But maybe it's got a breath weapon of fire. At that point, where a stone's throw away from it's just a dragon. It collects the horn.
Yeah, but he's just a sweet boy though.
It's just a sweet. Maybe he's named like
could
a
give him
Draco
something
bird or
else.
something like that, like as a species.
Draco
I
bird.
don't know. It's too obvious, but audience, help us.
Call him Borb.
Borb. There's some pretty cool looking birds out here. There's some that have like, especially when it comes to hummingbirds and whatnot, a lot of them have like the iridescent like throats as well.
True. That's really cool.
We could go so many directions with it. You give them spots.
We could.
Some birds have spots.
Just a big old spotty boy.
Ah.
This was meant to be like a throwaway.
No,
creature,
this
by the
is
way.
this is
was
our
like
new. Listen, I would give my fucking life for this bird.
Oh my god!
What
What if, this? I do apologize. We were going to talk about.
I don't give a
seasons
shit.
and, like, all
This
that
is
kind
great.
of stuff. But
Oh,
this boy's important now.
yeah, dude. So if they're that rare too, can you? So maybe they do. Maybe. Oh, maybe like they're so rare, and the whole gold collection thing is to attract a mate because they're so few and far between that it's like you have to make a really big shiny pile to attract someone else because it's like, oh.
So they see the reflection from so far away due to the sun.
Yeah. Oh. But in the end, it just kind of attracts hunters and things like that. And every time someone new shows up, he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're not another one of me." Fuck. It's kind of sad, but it's kind of cute.
I kind of love that though.
Yeah.
That works really well.
Oh.
And if a party, I could tell because we do plan to eventually run a game in this world. I could tell if we had 2 games at different times or whatever. On one continent we had one burb, and the other continent we had another burb.
Oh.
If we had the same players, or like players who know this lore, can you imagine the war they would go through
Yeah.
to get these 2 to connect?
They're gonna play fucking bird matchmaker, and they will destroy countries in the process.
They would. That's the
I
thing.
love that
Oh,
so much.
they would cast teleport on the bird and be like, "Take him to the other one."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that'd be the sweetest thing. Imagine they like help him out in the meantime by like donating all their gold and stuff to him, or like using him as like a way to hold on to it.
there would absolutely be a whole session of just we're gonna help the bird decorate.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's all we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh. I love this bird so
one,
much.
like a cleric or something casts daylight just so like
Just so
there's
sure.
extra like emphasis on it.
Dude, can you imagine someone invents a disco ball just to make it like fucking a beacon?
That's something nerdy would do.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. I would let
Genuinely. Yep. God.
So good.
Love you, nerdy. Okay, so they're very rare. I'm more than down to run with the reason they're making this nest is to attract a mate because they're so rare. That's actually a really cool, just natural thing. So I'm absolutely down for that.
Hell yeah. Bowery birds do it all the time. Things like that. Is there any type of shiny that they won't go near?
I don't know. Like, is there a specific type of material they prefer? Like, what's so much like? Do they just prefer gold, or is it more just anything reflective?
I feel like they would like anything reflective, so that would include like gold, metals, things like that. Some gemstones, but if you have like uncut gems, maybe then it doesn't really matter as much to them. Mirrors, they just love mirrors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so
That
cute.
would be cute, especially because like I love the way that people. God, can you? Okay, you know how you can go into a pet store and you can buy a toy for your pet bird that's just like a couple of beads on a string, and then it's got like a mirror, and they can go and like play in the mirror and look at themselves. Can you imagine like a party just building one of those for this little guy and just like giving it to him?
Oh my God. We're having far too many ideas for this goddamn bird.
I'm emotionally attached. If any party member kills this fucking thing, I swear to God, I'm never inviting them back.
Rocks fall, everyone is dying.
We're ending the podcast.
Game over. That's the day the DM wins. Just so you guys know.
Yeah.
We will take the toxic route and we will win.
It's so worth it. I would burn the world for this guy.
But the mirrors is a really good idea, especially with the reflection. Okay, now that we're making this guy like a little guy now, he's turning into much more of a fluffy bird rather than a crow to me.
Yeah? Like, are you thinking
Like
like
he's
round?
just a ball. Yes.
It's my favorite type.
Google round
The
bird.
spheres. The borbs.
Yes. We should Google round bird. So we
World's
have a reference.
roundest bird. Top 10
World's
round birds 2025.
Roundest bird. The bearded reedling.
I searched round and it immediately autofilled with roundest bird. My fucking.
They're
They
listening.
know.
Everyone's listening.
This guy is. Lab, can you throw up a picture of this man? This bearded fellow?
Oh my God. It needs to be him.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'll throw in the Discord what I'm looking at. I'll drop it in the fucking save for the podcast.
Yeah, I saw the same guy.
Look at it.
His little, like, his mustaches. Oh, that is just a sphere. That is an orb.
That is a ball. That is a boy.
For the podcast listeners who aren't using YouTube to watch us right now, first of all, you should. There's a lot of visual gags, a lot of us glaring at each other.
And we're adorable,
and we're amazing.
too.
Look, yeah. I have my lights in my background as Worlds Apart yellow right now, and I feel like that needs to be appreciated.
That is greatly appreciated. Well done.
Thank you. A shout out to Razor for sending me those. I only ever use it as a bit now. But these birds are like basically orbs. They have like these brown backs, teeniest wings ever. No idea how they fly. And then like these two stripes of black on either side of their beak that makes it look like they have a mustache. And it's the cutest thing. And the teeniest little beak.
Should we give this dude retractable wings?
Bro, what do you mean retractable wings?
They
Oh, jeez. Where you're like, oh, this isn't a fucking bird. Can't fly. And it's just like,
yeah, that'd be cool.
All right.
He could have like a... What if he just wraps himself in his wings when he's not flying? So he just makes himself a big old ball.
Oh, that's cute.
So he just waddles around. And he, like, all his gold that he's packed in is underneath him.
Oh.
So, like, when the mate rocks up, he opens his wings and he has all this gold and everything underneath him.
Yeah, it's like a salesman who's got like a bunch of watches to sell. He's like, hey, kid, you want some treasure?
Yeah.
That's cute.
It refers me back to Hercules, where it's like, you want to buy a sundial? It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it.
Christ.
Okay. All right, so we have spent 20 minutes talking about Big Ol' Burr Boy.
So good. I need to send more memes and turn them into like random creatures.
I mean, we can do. We can run with it.
The
So
wild part is this guy wouldn't give a shit about like treasure in the sense of like magic items. Like if it's not shiny, he just doesn't give a fuck. So it wouldn't
yeah,
necessarily be a repository for magic shit, except by coincidence. So like scrolls and things like that
yeah,
just aren't found there.
yeah. It's definitely materialistic things rather than like you mentioned, scrolls or paper or like whatever. If like a party would get up there and be somewhat disappointed, maybe
Yeah.
if this guy had just been collecting like mirrors and empty jars and
Yeah.
like beat up armor
Oh.
that's been found.
Yeah. Well, but then it'd be kind of sad if they like killed it and then they realized that all of its like supposed treasure was just kind of useless. Shiny, but useless. It'd be so sad.
Well, it's a good thing because we're gonna make this thing immortal.
Yes. Yeah, of
By
course.
the sounds of it,
I was gonna say, I mean, it
he's
probably is an herbivore. Looking at this round guy, I can't imagine it's much of a predator. And so,
God no.
it probably like doesn't harass, you know, hordes of cattle. What the fuck is a herd? Not a horde, or cattle or anything like that. Like it's not a terror to the countryside. It's not hurting
Lav,
anyone.
throw a horde of cattle up on the
God damn
screen.
it. Love, I'm so sorry.
I'm not. Love you, Lav.
We're gonna make a compilation at some point of us apologizing to our editor.
Yeah, we love her though. What do birds like worms, right?
I believe so. Yes.
What if this thing eats the delivery worms
No way.
from the sundial?
Is it that big? Like fucking could slurp up a worm,
Huge.
like a WYRM. How are they spelled? I think it's just worm actually. Indeed.
WORM?
Yeah.
A
Kind of
worm?
disappointing.
Like a purple worm? Yeah. Because remember we decided that the delivery worms aren't as big as a purple
Oh,
worm.
true.
They're like half the size of one, I believe,
Mhm.
because they have a rider and all that kind of stuff. And we also don't want to put the fear of God into any individual that comes up against the purple worm. So,
Yeah.
but if this thing could slurp up like one of the delivery worms, that could also be a side mission in itself.
Yeah. Oh man, I like this. I like this a lot.
This is definitely a
This is a
side
whole-
mission creature.
This is a whole thing though. Now, oh man, what would you even do about that? Would you just like lure it somewhere?
You'd have
else?
to go talk to it.
Yeah, just go and be like, "Hey, buddy, I know you're just trying to live here, but you see, my mail is we count ballots and things like that by mail. You're fucking with the political ecosystem here. And I know you're not trying, but fuck."
It would be such an interesting, like, especially if there's like a druid in the party.
Yeah.
It's like a stereotypical, like, I love nature, no animal should be harmed kind of druid player. It would be so interesting to see, be like, hey, this gigantic bird is eating our mailing system and putting fear into like our entire nation, I guess. Go take care of it. And like they get there and he's like, I was just hungry.
Aw, yeah, the poor guy. He never did anything wrong in his life ever. Poor man.
He's a big bird. He needs big meals.
Yeah, gotta be big and strong and round.
And round.
Spherical. All right. Well, that's adorable. I love that so much. We should probably get back to
That all stemmed from a meme.
I know.
Yeah, so-
yeah. It's the best meme. Also, Sarah Anderson's stuff is also just the cutest stuff ever. It's such an amazing comic
100%.
artist. I love her so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back on track.
Yes.
Do we want to talk about the seasons?
Yeah.
Like-
So we did autumn. Next up in chronological order would be winter, which I believe is a serpent of some variety. Did we ever talk about what it actually looks like physically beyond just being a snake?
I believe so. We mentioned that it had feathers as well.
Nice.
Because it had like a crown of feathers or something.
Mhm.
Kind of like a cobra. Going off the idea I believe you had.
Cool.
We mentioned it like had mist trailing all around it, so it's like a big moving cloud almost. Or just a fog. I think we briefly mentioned it like mainly chills under the water or beneath like a frozen lake or something.
That's a cool concept. So it like explodes out once every season or something like that, or once every year.
Yeah.
And then would it do the earthly rotation thing?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say we could have like 4 specific pools that it delves into.
Oh, that's cool. And then people would who like kind of worship this being would camp out near or maybe probably not under the ice out of respect. They probably wouldn't want to go and like, knock on its
No,
front fucking door, but um hanging out around the area, being particularly adept at existing in wintertime conditions, like
Mhm.
yeah, oh, that'd be cool.
If we wanted to, since we have our eclipse dragon who lives under the water, rather than having like the winter serpent live under the water, what we could have is like a frozen lake or a pool or whatever, but it's legitimately frozen
Oh,
all the way through.
that's cool. And then does it just
So
like
he just like
travel through
he
ice?
just dives into the ice and just lives in the ice.
That's sick. And then what if like the people who tend to it are able to shape ice really well and they form like protective walls or pillars or things like that to kind of like, you know,
That would be
create their own
really
encampments.
cool.
They live entirely in functionally igloos, but more just like one solid piece of ice that's been carved out. Um, and then, God, that'd be sick. That'd be cool.
Would these be like magical ice carvers, or are they more so just like they've crafted this talent so well that they're crushing it?
I feel like it'd be magical, almost in a divine sort of sense, where it's like, you kind of just, where their worship of this creature of the winter snake makes it so that they are imbued with the ability to manipulate ice in that sort of sense.
Okay,
So it's like a side
interesting.
effect. It's like worshiping a god gives you that god's powers.
Okay. We did briefly touch on like these seasons not really caring
Oh,
for
true.
people
Yeah.
or people following them, I should say.
So maybe they
Do we
just
still
like
want to run with that?
choose to. Maybe they're just like, yeah, I really like ice. Like I'm Ice's number one fan, and so I decided to learn ice magic just because it felt on brand.
Yeah, yeah, we could run with
I like
that. Because if this thing is around like a lake or a pool of water or whatever, for the rest of the year it's defrosted,
Yeah.
so it'd be like a lovely little living space for people.
Mhm.
And then when the winter rolls around, it could just be like kind of like the green flash that we talked about for the dragon. It could just be like an event. These people like gather around at this time of the year
Mhm.
to watch the serpent slither into the ice and just sort of emerge
That's cute.
or descend into it. And once it does, like there could just be like a wave of snow that begins to like push out from it.
That's so fascinating. I love that. So it's not like the autumn one where there's a group of people who follow it around the globe just perpetually on this pilgrimage or whatever. It's like
Mhm.
people will gather where the snake is seasonally and then have the rest of the year off and just kind of hang. I
Yeah,
like that.
because we mentioned this thing could like glide or fly
Mhm.
through stuff. So this thing could just be incredibly fast to the point where people wouldn't be able to like travel with it.
Mhm. I like that.
So
Do you think it would still follow water? Like, would it follow rivers, or would it just kind of like shoot up into the clouds and then skedaddle, break the sound barrier, and then leave?
I think if it shot up into the clouds, that could be where like snowstorms come from.
That'd be cool. So maybe it's possible for there to be like
Yeah.
freak snowstorms in the middle of like summer and things like that because the snake is
If the thing just
passing over.
yeah, that could work.
Wild.
Passing over, or it's just like it got hungry, or it just got bored, or
Hmm. And its motivations like beyond comprehension, but it just knows.
yeah. I kind of love how our seasons just sort of do what they want. This is kind of
Yeah.
fun. Like,
And especially when they don't communicate with humanoids that much, then it's like that would lend itself to so much lore. And
yeah.
oh my gosh, like maybe there's special lore around like what happens if you find one of its feathers or scales?
Oh, well, we mentioned like forging items and stuff out of like rare materials.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so this is like
'Cause
that
we mentioned
its
this-
equivalent.
Yeah,
Cool.
because we mentioned the sap that you shoved a creature into
Oh,
to
right.
like go into a coma.
You can make it sound nice. It's like a
could-
fucking. It's a nice coma. It's a healing. It's no less a coma than a fucking Pokeball, dude. I stand by that.
Right. Sorry. See, you shoved an animal into the sap. But we talked about the sap being like taking a chunk of the sap and like imbuing it into a weapon and like giving it the ability to cause a stun effect or like a sap effect. I don't fucking know. But like,
Like a stasis sort of thing.
but we could do the same thing for the feathers or something. Like the feather could be used as like if you place it on the ground, it becomes like difficult terrain due to like an ice thing, like freezing the ground essentially,
I like
and you get slippy. Or scales could be used to increase armor or durability or all that kind of stuff. So.
And maybe if you like happen to have these materials, then you're automatically a little bit more respected, or like they're usually given to people who are really powerful, and it helps them.
So people use them for a sense of power, in a sense.
Yeah, a little more control over winter vibes.
Okay. So someone just has like a necklace with a feather or something
Yeah.
from the winter serpent.
I like that.
That'd be
That'd be
cool.
sick. It would be fucking cold though, wouldn't it? Imagine just perpetually wearing like a fucking
Yeah.
ice cube on your neck.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, it could be put on like a gauntlet maybe and just like worn as a symbol of pride.
Dude, okay.
In a sense.
Can you imagine
What do you got?
having like it embedded into like your gauntlet and then at will being able to make like ice spikes form out of your fucking knuckles and just like how cool would that be?
That's fucking
Yeah.
sick. That's fucking cool.
Oh my gosh.
I thought you were gonna be like shoot like a cone of ice out of it or
That
something
too,
like
like
that.
what if you were able to like summon ice weapons, like ice daggers, things like that? Oh,
We need to like okay to get serious for a moment. We need to have a session where we sit down and like go through a bunch of TTRPG games we want to implement into this world, just so we can sort of work around like what fits, what doesn't, how we can integrate and not.
yeah.
Because I feel like with the amount of ideas we have, we need to start thinking about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot that could fit. Basically, anything that's like not modern, I guess. Really,
Yeah.
so, like Symbarum could work. Pathfinder, D&D, the classics, classic band.
You're gonna have to lead the charge on that because you are so well integrated into TTRPG
Oh,
life,
gosh.
and I'm like, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah,
So-
that's most of it. And then like fucking Vaesen could potentially be one, or Vasen. I don't actually know how you pronounce it.
Vasen is really fun. I've looked into that. I was looking into what's the 3 books you sent me? Shadowfell? Not Shadowfell.
Nightfell.
Nightfell.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've been looking into those. The amount of horror we could put into this world, dude.
Please, please.
For those listening, if you don't know, we love the horror when it comes to TTRPGs. The atmosphere, the setting, the creatures, all of it, incredible.
Mhm.
So get ready for a lot of horror stuff. I mean, we created parasites that
I was just gonna say the fucking things that stab little
Yeah.
needle-like tendrils into your spine and fucking control your body against your will is, that's a shit of nightmares. As
Yeah.
is.
that's our shit of nightmares,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
Okay, so the materials then, we'll work with the magic systems in particular later and whatnot, but
sure.
anything else that would be associated with the snake? Any particular lore or anything like that that we want to talk about? Or behaviors that it has?
So we briefly touched on the fact that at one stage, all the seasons just sort of ran rampant because the Eclipse Dragon was trying to eat them or something, right?
Yeah, and then the sea and sun were like, hey, you guys need to fucking get in line and stay a distance away from each other so that way it can't catch you all or something?
Something like that. It was the borderline of it. So Dragon's the eldest.
Yeah.
Do we want to say? I mean, if this Winter Serpent is like secluded and lonesome and edgy or whatever,
Uh-huh.
do we want to say this was the one that like almost rivaled his older brother?
Oh, so like second oldest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And it was...
Maybe it has a scar from where he fought the dragon and lost.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Maybe it's just like a little ribbon along its belly or something that people don't normally see, except unless the snake happens to go right over them, and then you can see like a jagged bit of almost like void corrupted scar. Oh,
Yes, that would be really cool.
sick. Do they all have that? Have they all had run-ins with like some sort of mark of darkness on them?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like
There's-
I feel like our fish and our bird was probably like, nah,
Yeah,
fam, and
they
just
took one
ran.
look and they were like, "This is yeah, I don't know that guy."
Yeah, but like, I mean, dragon and snake are both reptilian.
Yeah,
If you think about it, serpent-esque. So it could have just been like a show of power between the
yeah,
two.
that tracks.
Where where he was like, I could take him, and then couldn't.
Yeah,
So, uh, but I feel like if we give maybe the Winter Serpent a bit of lore, because we have our tree as like the guardian, who's like very traditional and like I will stick to tradition and travel through this world until this world ends. Um, so we could have our Winter Serpent be like the shamed second oldest, like I wanted to be the strongest in the family but wasn't.
yeah. Oh, fascinating. So, if it's the second strongest season, then I imagine it probably has the highest kill count when it comes to like weather events, and probably just like winter is still imperfect in how long it lasts. Sometimes it's a little, it lasts a couple extra days or weeks, and then sometimes it's a little short as like a sort of,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess a reflection of how it's still a little bit rebellious.
Yeah. Because it might want that challenge again someday.
Ooh, secretly. Oh my gosh, maybe that's like
Yeah.
like the unknowing eventual catalyst of the apocalypse is winter, in a sense.
I just had the image of like, sorry, like the day he chooses to rebel or wants the challenge again, on the day that the dragon ascends to the sky, he like shoots out across the water
Ooh, that'd be cool.
and like tackles him mid ascension. Oh, that would be
That'd
sick.
be so cool. Oh man. Okay. God, and people who were watching that just like wouldn't have any fucking idea what was going on because it doesn't speak to them. It doesn't fucking give them their motivations. We just
Yeah.
surmised it over the years and divined it. But God, that'd be wild.
I think you're right though when it comes to like natural disasters involving seasons. I think winter's the harshest season, I think we should say.
Yeah.
Because he's just pissed.
Hmm.
He big old grump.
Amazing. Okay, so we've got lore, we've got basic capabilities of its followers, we've got a little bit of like
Mhm.
what the symbols of status within the ranks of its followers would be, and we have its travel pattern.
Okay.
That's mostly it, I think. Do these seasons don't need to like subsist off of anything, right? Like they just kind of are.
I mean, they're divine-esque, so I feel like they would just sort of live.
Yeah, just kind of exist.
They have their purpose, and like we could say for like a little growth and development for them, they find things along the way that like improve their character.
Oh.
So like the tree, for example, like he got the druids and then realized that his sap could create these creatures and like forge weapons and all that kind of stuff. Maybe they're learning as they go and as the world evolves as well.
Yeah. And it comes a lot from like humanoids who just kind of almost teach them
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, exactly. And since the serpent is so reserved, he hasn't grown. He doesn't know what he is capable of.
Yeah. God, that's cool. That's such a good concept.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Awesome. We can run with that. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anything else we need to touch on with him? Anything you want to... Any lore you want to add to him or any aspect you want to encroach on?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think winter seems pretty straightforward as a concept, you know? The fact that
Mhm.
snowstorms can follow him if he goes up into the atmosphere is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Is there
I also just love winter.
Do you think like maybe people who die due to winter conditions have some sort of lore behind them where they're like said to be with the snake or whatever? Or maybe
I mean, that could be one of his abilities that he learned himself. Those who die in a specific range of him, he draws in their soul or something like that.
oh. Oh, what an implication. Do people like that? Or are they just like,
They might not know.
oh, fascinating.
Because, well, if he has these four specific pools, if you will, that he delves into each time he travels to a new location, what if he's trapping souls in that ice?
Oh, what does that look like? Would it look like kind of Will o' the Wisp, but underneath ice a little bit? Or like fireflies almost? Or would it be like actual spirits?
Just like little lights traveling through
Yeah.
the ice, or
Maybe. And then maybe if you hang out at night, it looks almost like an aurora underneath the ice's surface. But you can also start to hear every once in a while, like certain people can hear voices of the deceased. Not saying anything in particular, maybe, but just like kind of calling out.
and they could think it's the dragon talking to them, or the serpent, sorry,
Yeah.
talking to them, because they have no idea it's actually this dragon is pulling in souls to. Is he using them for something?
Mm, I don't know. I think maybe if anything, it would be like almost like a collection, if anything, to kind of show off that he has domination over humanoid souls, in a sense. Not to a great degree, right? But like, and maybe that's something that the Eclipse Dragon would want eventually and is also conversely kind of jealous of.
Not a bad point. This thing could pull in souls of anything then. Like creatures, humans, giants.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Could be how... It could be like a blight, almost. For a Dragon Age reference. Like, you know how they use that corrupt energy to create these things?
Uh-huh.
What if he collects too many of these corrupt entities begin to appear?
Interesting.
Something along those lines.
So, like, if he collects too many souls and the souls have nowhere to go, then fucked up stuff starts happening?
I guess.
So,
Could be like a sickness, or like...
oh. Wait, that's a good question. If someone gets their soul sucked into the serpent, then, which is not a metaphor for anything, I swear, then, hey.
You heard what you said, right?
So, but if that happens, are you
So when your soul gets
okay?
into the
Don't
serpent,
wear a hoodie and have your hood up all day. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
it's Chad Michael, what's going on?
God. Then does that mean you can't get resurrected?
I didn't even think of that.
Because like if your soul goes to something, then are you still able to be like released, or is it like encased in the ice and you have to do extra things in order to get it back?
That's a mission right there.
Yeah, is to like figure out a way to free someone's soul.
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. If something takes your soul, you can't. It's not like in the ethereal place where it's like you have a choice to go back. This is like, nah, dude, someone's got him.
Yeah,
like,
you've been fucking cryogenically soul locked for a sec, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I think you're right on that point. I think that's something we should run with.
So maybe then certain people who know, well, if the world in general doesn't know, then they have no reason to like avoid the creature, but maybe it's just a phenomenon where certain, death in the wintertime is considered bad and like irrevocable, and people don't know the real reason.
Can you imagine a party where like a party member dies in the winter and they go to use like
and they just have no idea
resurrection, and it just doesn't work?
God, that'd be so fucked. That'd be so cool. It'd be such a good quest.
The hints you'd have to drop as a DM as well, like the whole, you cast a spell and you feel the energy go through and you latch onto their soul, but it's stuck.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if they stay in that area,
you can't pull it back.
Then they'd hear its voice.
And there is a deathly cold feeling that rushes over you.
That's so good.
That would be. And like that's all you could give them.
Yeah, it'd be so
in a
nice.
sense.
Oh. But I like it.
I like that idea. That's a solid idea, D. Good shit.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
We're creating terrible creatures.
I know, I was gonna say this campaign's getting real like fucking hardcore very fast. Especially if we happen to run like during the eclipse season. That's fucking like 3 months of just darkness all the time. If you don't have dark vision, you're just like perpetually fucking stocking up on torches, getting ye old flashlight and double A batteries out.
That's a great question though. Like when we do eventually start this game, what season do we start in? Do we put the
Furthest
eclipse
fucking
season
possible.
at the end? So like, yeah, I'll have like the last few days be the start of it.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I would want to make. I don't know if I'd want to dump someone who is new to the world just like right into the heart of the fucking blood moon equivalent of our world for 3 months.
Yeah, this is true. When all like hags and vampires and werewolves are out just roaming around having a good time.
Yeah, and you just exist. Well,
Well, oh, back to the parasite real quick. Are we gonna be able to make like a sub race of those, or a custom race?
oh my god, where like your entire thing is the fact that you're infected by the parasite. So like you are the parasite, you're not actually the humanoid.
Yeah,
That's sick. We should 100% do that. That would be such a cool reveal
We should.
too for someone who's a party member who has that and like they just never show their parasite. They never like
they're spine.
yeah. Oh,
We should make
should
that.
100%
That'd be
do
really
that, I think.
cool.
and especially
Can you imagine the abilities that we could put into that as well?
because like it doesn't feel pain.
No.
And in theory, if it developed and grew large enough, it could switch host bodies in the proper circumstances. And then the player character could almost like shapeshift over time, over an extremely long fucking period of time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you imagine if they're like a gnome for 16? Well, let's say long. If they're a gnome for like 70 sessions, for example, like hypothetically, you've known them as a gnome for that long, and then they swap to a Goliath body or something like that.
but at the same time, you'd have to find your old gnome friend's body somewhere.
Yeah.
That's so dark.
I love that.
It's
though.
really fucking cool, right? Oh, man.
Would the race just be called parasite or parasitic, or what would we call the race?
I feel like we had a name for the parasite itself, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but something based off of that, where it's like it probably ended in like iote, like almost like a symbiote.
I think you're right. Yeah, that rings a bell.
That'd be sick. That'd be so cool.
We have so many things.
We have so
to
many
build,
good
Diana.
fucking ideas, though. Holy shit.
Oh my god, we still haven't even got people on to like help us build gods and shit.
Yeah,
yet.
we should probably get around to that. Oh god, what do we still do?
should.
Deities. We have to do a decent amount of like villages and general locations. Still, we haven't really fleshed out. I think there's still parts of the Sundial Mountains we're missing.
We're missing like nitty gritty details, so like names of things and specific details. I feel like a lot of this world building, when it comes to like cities and towns, we won't really get into the nitty gritty until we're about to start the game itself.
Yeah, because then we.
So it's a bit more fresh on the mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's when you get into like
We have,
shops
like-
and shit. It's like as you need it.
yeah, and that's stuff we can usually do off the podcast as well, if we wanted to. It just depends how people feel about that. If they want us to create NPCs in the podcast, but I feel like what we could do, just to sort of plan ahead for the next time we see, because we're at 50 minutes in, so we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
Planning ahead, we knocked over the serpent in like 20 minutes,
Yeah, not a lot to
and we got
linger,
a good amount of
honestly.
detail on it.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe next recording we can knock over our fish
Fish.
and our burb,
Orb.
the springtime burb and the summertime fish,
Yeah.
and then maybe following that we start looking into deities and gods.
That'd be cool. I'd like that a lot, especially because we
Yeah.
have fucking the other elemental gods. We only ever did Kato, but the other gods still have their like entire fucking kingdoms.
Oh my god, I forgot about
Yeah.
that. I forgot about the other
Guys,
elements.
there's a lot to
Oh
world
my
building.
God.
It turns out there's a lot of shit in the world. Who knew?
Yeah. But the sea god is mine.
Yes. Yeah. Dude,
We
I'm
made this
stoked
deal.
about that one. The fucking the integration with the Eclipse Dragon and like its entire history with the sun. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Is there, just so we have it on record,
Yeah.
is there any specific god you mainly want control over? Because we all have our favorite things, and the people we're going to be bringing on, we're going to ask them the question of like, what kind of god do you want to make? Like, over what realm do you want to like control, have reign over, whatever? So, is there a specific kind of god, goddess, deity, creature, or even one of the primordial titans? What do you kind of want to like take the reins on and run together with? Because we'll work together with everyone else on everything else. But the sea god, I personally, selfishly,
Yeah.
want control over that because I love the ocean. I love the sea.
I mean,
So how about you?
It's hard because I've world built so many fucking gods. My audience knows this, but I built a god of sleep with them recently, one of like mushrooms and things like that. So you can get really fucking granular with it.
That's really cool.
Dude, yeah, the god of sleep was scary. It was basically like so fucking terrifying. None of the other gods would go near it because the minute that they tried to go to war against it, it would just cause their entire armies to like fall asleep and never wake up. And then they would like degrade and die over time. It was so fucking, it was fucked.
Oh my god.
And,
dude, a battlefield just full of sleeping bodies?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And everyone after that, they were like, okay, maybe we'll leave that guy alone. He can go do whatever he wants.
He's good.
No one questioned him. I feel like a god of food would be cool. Because you could imagine, like...
A god of food?
Yeah. Especially because when it comes to, like, all of the little rituals that you could do when it comes to, like, prayers and worship of a god of food. Like, the whole thing where you take a piece of your meal
really
and, like,
cool.
throw it into a fire or whatever. There's good integrations with the god of fire, maybe, because like you usually need fire to cook. And like being able to like fold in little herbs and spices and things like that into bread while you're kneading it and have that be like part of a ritual that you do. And I don't know. I feel like it has good creative potential.
It has a lot, actually, come to think of it. Holy dooly. That's a really good choice.
Thanks.
That's all yours if you want to do.
Yeah.
We do need to like probably not. We have 7 minutes. We can see if we can knock something out.
Yeah.
Do we want like when it comes to the pantheon? Do we want like a god of gods, or do we want like a council of gods? Because you know how Zeus and Odin are like the king gods in their pantheon.
Yeah.
So like, do we want something like that, or all gods just kind of like? My voice cracked again.
Aw, I'm sorry, dude. Lav enhance.
Gods.
Enhance.
Do not. Gods. Do we want like? Do we? Do we want like a pantheon led by one, or do we just want like a pantheon that gods are just here to fuck around and find out?
I mean, honestly, I feel like you could go either way. Really, like
Okay.
we already kind of made. Maybe there's like different circles where there's certain gods that kind of rule over subsections of their faith. So maybe like it's like there's like hierarchy where certain gods report to certain other gods the same way that like the seasons report into the sun and sea. So maybe like there's a lead god of civilization, and then beneath that you have the god of food and the god of like, you know, structure or whatever.
They're children in a sense, or
I think for the most part they would be children, but there might be some gods every once in a while that have it in their lore that they're like almost adopted children, or like they just kind of came into the fold. So they're not all blood related, but like a little bit.
Yeah, that works. I'm cool with that.
I think it'd be kind of sick, especially if to see what happens when like one god from one circle decides to like court a god from a completely different circle, and then it's like you have to see about the balance of power there and whatnot. It's almost like rival kingdoms. I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones, I will say, and I'm starting to feel it seep in, and I'm so sorry.
You're addicted, dude.
Listen. I'm a slut for lore. Show's a lot of lore. She also has a lot of fucking death.
Buy the shirt.
Buy the shirt. Lav, throw the shirt up here, please.
Lav, put it on the shirt. Put it on the shirt. Put it on the screen. There we go.
Lav enhance that mistake.
Put it on the shirt.
We should end it.
Do not make this a bit. Please. I will jump through this goddamn webcam. I will find a way to.
I will buy a $4,000 fucking plane ticket.
Well, dude, you're coming to me in October.
Yeah,
so
dude,
like...
I'm so fucking excited for that trip, especially because I think given the way the American economy is going, it's probably the last trip I'll go on in a hot fucking second. So I got all that out of the way early on in the year before all this shit went to shit.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, October can't come soon enough. I'm so fucking stoked.
I'm so excited, dude. It's going to be the best time.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
But yes, we'll wrap it there. We are 55 minutes in, and I think we did a lot.
That was fun.
We rambled.
We like hit a bunch of different points.
Real.
But we like completed them. We got to like a good. We built a Borb. We built a Snick.
We built the best Borb.
The best Borb ever. And we talked about the outline for the gods. We talked about the guests that we're gonna have on. Eventually, we swear it'll happen. Just hang tight. We got a lot going on. That's fun. That's good.
We're only double digits in episode wise. We just hit episode 10. This is episode 10. So
yeah,
we've covered a lot.
We're doing so good. This is great.
We are. We're crushing
And
it.
also, just special shout out before we go to everyone who's been listening so far and like has been dropping like such nice comments. A lot of people are complimenting Lav's editing, and which is always so sweet. We do send those comments to her,
Which is huge, by the
yeah,
way.
we read
Like,
everything, and whenever you guys say something nice, we send it to each other, and we're like, oh my god, someone likes us. So you guys have been the best, and we're approaching 1,000 downloads as of the recording of this episode. So we can't thank you
I
enough.
think we passed it.
Have we passed it already? Oh shit!
I think.
Cool.
I think so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we just released episode 4, I believe it was.
Mhm. Yeah, we're recording this on.
Yeah.
Oh god, this is gonna date us so bad. April 5th.
Oh my god. Hey, we're efficient.
We're very efficient.
So, but yeah, we just released episode 4, and like, the reception's just been kind of crazy. It's a lot more than I expected, and this was just an idea to have fun and build a world with a friend and just kind of fuck around and find out. And the reception of it has been insane.
Yeah.
Seeing you guys get like inspired by it to start building your own worlds and create your own ideas and stuff.
Mhm.
It's fucking insane. All-time downloads 1,109.
Ah! Oh, 1,100 already. That was so quick. Yeah, you guys are the best. Please keep using us as inspo, as your easy listening, as your hard listening, depending on how much time we spend trying to fucking waffle about a name of something. And in the meantime,
All the
if you
time.
want to come find us on all of our socials, we are at Worlds Apart TTRPG on YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can find all of those collated under beacons.ai/Worlds Apart TTRPG. And that's where you'll find all the best moments, all the highlights, all the announcements, everything like that. And then, Odie, where can people find you?
They can find me at Odin_Sun pretty much on all social medias, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I don't really post to YouTube, but it's fine. You can find me at officially underscore. No, not
Enhance.
officially Odie on Twitch. Shut up. Officially Odie on Twitch. I'm slowly getting back into it. If you're interested in anything Pokemon, anything voiceover, anything voice acting, and if you're just down for a general vibe, more than welcome to hang out. Drop a follow. I post somewhat regularly now.
Hey.
I'm working on it. So, yeah, Diana, where can they find you?
Hi, I'm Diana Faye, also known as @Diana the Rose on all platforms. I'm mostly a short form creator, so I post quite a bit over on TikTok, which thankfully got another extension as of the time I'm recording this. Shit's been crazy, you guys. But also YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, and then also Facebook, but I don't really talk about it much because it's a cesspool. That being said, I am also a long form creator, so I post once a month a proper long form video talking about the tabletop space over on YouTube, and then I'm a Twitch streamer Monday through Wednesday at 5 o'clock to 6:30 Pacific time, where we play games, hang out, just chat shit. We look at food quite a lot. We will pull on just like go do Google searches and stare at pictures of food. It's becoming a thing. I'm also a social
What
media
a
consultant.
vibe. Holy
model.
shit.
Yeah, dude, I have started doing this thing where I was playing Subnautica and I would just have a picture of some different food up. And anytime I got scared, we would just tab out, tab over, stare at a really nice bowl of ramen, recenter ourselves, and then go
It's
back
kind
to
of like
the
when you
game.
watch a horror movie and you put on a fucking cartoon right after it. That
Actually, yeah,
kind of vibe.
it's cleansing. Do you want to talk about our lovely editor?
Yes, you can find Lav, our amazing editor, at entity__edit on pretty much all platforms on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Blue Sky. Lav is incredible. She deserves all the support in this world.
Hire
She's
her.
helped us out a lot. Super amazing editor, easy to work with. If you guys are looking for short form content or long form content, be sure to reach out to her, see if she has time and availability to help you out. She has all her pricings and stuff and information on hand and ready to rock and roll. So please go check her out. She's incredible. We love her very much. If you take her from us, we'll beat the shit out of you. Sorry.
Yep.
You want to tell them about Toby?
Yeah, Toby is our amazing official artist for Worlds Apart. You definitely have seen his work around, and you know, especially if you have followed either Odie or I, we've definitely like had him commissioned so many times, and so you've definitely seen his art floating around our socials. He is at toby.dot. EXE at TikTok, Blue Sky, and YouTube. And then over on Instagram, it's the same thing, underscore TOBYDOTEXE_. So just surround it with underscores and you'll find him. He's incredibly talented, Crit Award nominated, just absolutely amazing human being too.
Yeah. We have really cool people working with us.
Everyone's
It's going to be
so great. It's a wonderful
it's
team.
insane.
But yeah,
And we can
that's
get some
us.
cool people on too. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a good time. But thank you guys for watching this week. We will see you in a couple of weeks to episode 11.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man.
Good shit.
We made
But
it.
we love you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.